You've tuned into The Mountain Gardener with your host, Ken Lain. Gardening, it can be challenging, but with these simple insider tips, you'll reap huge rewards. Now, let's tune into today's Mountain Gardener with Ken and Lisa. And welcome to this week's edition of The Mountain Gardener. Your host, Ken Lain, here every week talking about the landscapes of northern Arizona. We are in the absolute peak of the replanting season. So there's actually two seasons. Actually, there's three or four or five. Anyway, we won't go with that deep. But basically, there's a spring planting season. Most people put their plants, their tomatoes, their flowers in then. But as the rains come at the higher elevations, this is actually a peak time. It's a better time to be planting things like trees, like fruit trees, especially the bigger ones. So I've got gigantic trees of miniature trees that are fruiting trees. So nectarines and plums and peaches and apricots. They're spectacular. They're glorious. Some have fruit, but you're planting them now so they root out in the gardens or in the containers, and then they flush with new growth next year. They'll be fully rooted. You'll get a bumper crop of fruit that way. Berries, grapes, figs, pomegranates. This is your time. This is when they prefer to be planted. Things like crepe myrtles, Rosa Sharons, smoke bush, butterfly bush, desert willows, chase trees, and go on and on. They're all the summer bloomers. Summer bloomers prefer to be planted when it's warm. They celebrate the warmth. They want warm soil. They want warm evenings. They want it to be warm. Some of you gardeners, you're like that. You'd much prefer summer than the winter. You just like being out in the sun and tanning yourself on a beach and just warming right up. Well, there's plants like that too. And so they prefer that. And this is the time. Here's the reason it's so good. It's because the pressure's off. As the rainy season comes, even if we don't have rain, you've got humidity. You can kind of feel it in the air. You've got some cloud cover. Oh, plants just love that. Cloud, a little bit of humidity. The soil is warm. It might even rain this week. That's a magic planting season. What you'll find is you even have more success planting now than you did in the spring season. I mentioned there might be 3 planting seasons. Now, in other parts of the country, they say fall is for planting. Fall is the best time. Fall, it is a good time to plant things. But I find people plant little tiny scrawny things in the fall, and then they forget to take care of them. They're not out in the yard as much. So they just don't catch the mistakes that happen. Whereas now you plant, you're out there in the yard and you see things. You're communing with your gardens, the plants, the environment. You're hiking around. You're just enjoying butterflies. You're out there. In the winter, you're not so much. The fall. So if you're planting large trees, large spruce, like the big size, like a more mature size, not just like taller, bigger, wider, not a tiny one. Don't go. It's all about root ball size. The bigger the root, the more forgiveness you have, because the more soil it can take from. That goes for any time of year, but especially the fall planting season. Other parts of the country, you plant, it gets bitterly cold. The ground freezes. It's like in stasis out there. Nothing happens. And so the plant comes out next spring and just takes off with new growth. That's why fall is for planting in other parts of the country. Here, monsoon is for planting. This is a far better time to be planting. And because the soil is so warm, you plant in the spring, the soil is cold. The plant sits there. It's going, I'm not rooting out in this. The soil's like 40 degrees. What am I, like a polar bear? I'm waiting it out till the soil warms up, especially those plants that are summer bloomers. Your yuccas and agaves, your cacti, these things prefer the summer. They want the soil to be warm. And so that's why I say this is that time when you can flush new growth on plants. The same idea, but an established plant, it got stressed out. I mean, some of my plants got beat up in June, first part of July. It was hot and dry. I might have missed a watering. I don't know. The irrigation might have clogged. It just got stressed out. So for those plants that I want to flush, maybe you got a new house. The plants look scrawny. They're not big enough because they're just youngsters. Force them to be mature and grown up. So you're not allowed to be a a 12-year-old anymore. You got to be out there looking good, like 18 to 20 years old. I want you outshining all the other neighbors' plants out there. You look glorious. I want to take pictures of you. Grow, grow, grow. Fertilize them. Just fertilize those plants, and don't fertilize with just anything. Use an organic food. So I make a food here at the garden center. It's called all-purpose plant food. I know I could have been more original. All-purpose organic plant food. All-purpose make things real fast food, but it is all natural. It is made to interact with our soil and our environment and our rain and your irrigation. You put it on the rocks, it slowly breaks down, goes to the rocks and all that fabric, gets into the root zone and just feeds the worms, feeds the roots, tickles the feet of plants so they just want to take off. And you will see more leaf growth. You will have more flowers. I just cut back all of my sages, salvias, my catmints, because they've been blooming for months. They look kind of tall and ratty. The flowers, there were flowers on it, but they're just long stem. They just didn't look good. So I gave them a quick haircut. They felt beautiful about it. And then I fertilized them with some all-purpose plant food, and they have erupted with new growth. And they're in full bloom now. So you can trick plants into coming into bloom again, and they feel better about you when you do that. You feel better about them. Everything is better. The birds will sing better songs. I mean, just the hummingbirds, they'll be attracted because all the plants are so beautiful and they have more flowers. So you can have the fertilize now. Take advantage of the monsoon rains. No matter how much we get, it's an opportunity to push new growth on those plants, to have another set of flowers come out on those plants. It's a game changer, and you can do this. So I did find I have some bugs showing up, and so grubs. I've been finding grubs in my garden. Doggone, I've been putting some new plants in. This white worm, it's C-shaped, be curled up. When I find one, I just squish them between my gloves. I mean, it's brutal, I know, but I don't want that thing in my garden soil. They live in the soil for up to 2 years, and then they come up in the summer months. When the soil is warm, they start to dig a hole, they dig their way out, and they become a beetle. So these beetles flying around at night, they're attracted to the lights, they're buzzing you, the June beetles, the great big, there's all kinds of beetles. We're famous for our beetles. We probably have more than other parts of the country because our soil is where the moisture is. So they're actually living down there where the soil and nutrients are instead of up here out in the dry, crusty air. And this is when they come back, and when they fly up, they're looking around your gardens for plants soils that have moisture, that have good nutrients, lots of organics, maybe have some plants because grubs eat roots for a living. And so when they come up to make whoopee and find a mate and go lay more eggs, guess where they're looking to lay eggs? In your gardens, because it's the perfect grub place. And we've got so many different types of grubs or beetles that you can often find them. I've got certain areas in my garden where I can count on them. They always love laying eggs there. And so I find them. So I know to look for them, but I missed a couple plants and they got stressed out. One died. Others are stressed out. I corrected it. I put a grub killer down. They're all good, but don't let grubs kill your plants or stress them out. They eat the roots off the plants until there's not enough roots to support that top growth. And now we get a hot day with a little bit of wind. The roots can't keep up with the perspiration. Literally, plants are perspiring. And so the roots are picking up the moisture from the surrounding soil and rejuicing the foliage. This is not technical botany terms. I know how to do that, but then we're talking Latin. This is the big picture. This is how it works. So the plant can't keep up because there's not enough roots. And then they suffer. The leaves get black on the tips. They're struggling. They start to drop leaves because they can't support all that top growth. So they start to sacrifice some leaves, trying to stay alive. The plant's trying, but the grubs are down there eating the roots off the plants faster than the plant can grow new ones. And so there's this vicious cycle until you break that cycle and kill those grubs. There are several killers. They're super easy to kill off. It's just sprinkle on the ground and water it in, and your grubs are gone. That's how easy. But don't let if plants are stressed out, come see us. Bring a soil sample, bring a leaf. We could diagnose this. We probably know what it is and can help you.
Butterflies bring magic to the garden, and attracting those winged wonders is easy with Watters Butterfly Plant Collection.
Watters specializes in local plants and knows exactly which plants butterflies adore.
We create a natural, safe, and organic space for you and your beautiful butterflies.
Visit Watters Garden Center at 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott.
Or online at wattersgardencenter.com.
Smell the flowers that butterflies love and turn gardens into a butterfly paradise. And we are back with Lisa Watters Lain. She comes in each week with your garden questions. Just what are your neighbors talking about? What are they coming into? What were their success, visions, hallucinations, curses? What are the bugs, animals? Just what's going on? The questions. Just there's something to be imparted and shared by the questions. So welcome, Lisa.
Thank you.
How's your rainy week going? It's kind of monsoons are here. It's
good.
It's fun.
Very good. Everything enjoys the moisture, us, the plants.
Did
animals.
You see our autumn sage out front by the street?
It's gorgeous.
It's been kind of colorful. It's been some flowers. The hummingbirds have been on there. This is a knee-high shrub, maybe 3 by 3 by 3. And it's green right now. It's got a fragrance. We put it out there because the javelina are thick. They run up and down the street and they don't bother that. Some Russian sage are behind that. So they step up to about hip high. And then we've got junipers behind that. They're about well over head high. So it's this kind of layered garden out by the street for neighbors to enjoy. And it just kind of gives us privacy. And they've been blooming now all of a sudden since the rain. I gave them a little bit of superphosphate, fertilized them just a touch. And then the rain came and you can't see the foliage. They're all red flowers. It's
beautiful.
Stunning. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. In fact, this morning I was like, I should take a picture of that.
We should.
Because customers come in, they really don't have an idea sometimes how to use things. And it really is a perfect example of how to use plant material to create kind of a screen, but still have it be beautiful. So I need to take a picture of that.
It's so beautiful. I'd love to see a great picture. It's so beautiful and kind of long. So it's the entire length of the property. Then you go to the driveway. It's hard to capture beauty, majesty, glory, that whole nature thing. Close-ups work, but a distance, it's actually hard to capture. You feel it, you see, you go, whoa, it's like the Grand Canyon. You go, whoa, that deserves a picture. You take a picture, kind of go, that's not the same. Right. So anyway, good. So garden questions. So what are people talking about?
Speaking of all the rain.
Yeah.
So flowers love it, but weeds love it
too. Of course, yeah, it's crazy.
So Lori's out in PV. She says, I have pulled weeds and pulled weeds. Yeah. I'm tired of pulling weeds. Yeah. Now, what do I do? What else can I do to take care of the weed situation?
Yeah. So, once the weeds are up, there's nothing you can do except weed. So you got to pull them or spray them or do something. You got to hoe them. You got to do something. Right. And they'll just keep multiplying. So you want to catch those things early. So bindweed is this wild growing morning glory. It grows up fences and it's cute. It looks good. Then it goes into flower. It's even prettier. Then the flowers turn into, each flower has 20 seeds and it spews them all over the yard and it compounds the problems. You can catch them now because they haven't gone to flower and seed yet. So you can keep them from spreading. And it comes back by seed every year. These are true annual flowers. So they only come back by the seed. So if you can keep them from seeding, you're good. Same thing with the nut sedge. There's a real pretty grass, really big, wide blade to it, and it hasn't gone to seed yet. It will here shortly. Usually in August, it goes into seed, has this pretty little spiky top to it. It's kind of cute, but then each flower turns into 1,000 seeds. It's some crazy number, and it just spews out all over the yard. So you want to get on those. What we've been doing here at the Garden Center, what we've been doing at our house, we're Ken and Lisa Lain. We're just friends, we're neighbors, we're talking with them. This is working for us. I think it'll work for you, even in Prescott Valley. We've been spraying Decimate. Decimate is it's like a kinder, better Roundup. Doesn't cause the cancer stuff that Roundup does. It's more effective than Roundup is here in this higher elevation. When it's real cool at night, Roundup doesn't work very well. It needs hot, warm. It needs desert. So Decimate, just like it sounds, is a liquid. You put it up in your pump up sprayer. Here's the insider tip. I spray some herbicide enhancer. It's a wetting agent. It's a surfactant.
Mhm.
So you mix your decimate into your 1 gallon sprayer. You add some enhancer to it, and it will get that stuff to stick and kill twice as fast as any other weed killer out
Mhm.
there. It really is a game changer for things like nutsedge. It's got a real waxy leaf to it, so things you spray it tends to roll off and kind of beat up at the base, and so it affects how fast it works. It'll work better when it's about to rain. So you get it on there, it'll stick and dry and kind of adhere to weeds better, and you'll get a better kill rate. Even if the rain comes 30 minutes later, it'll still kill it. So use decimate, use herbicidal enhancer, or do the back-breaking work of hoeing, weeding. What I would really do is once you get ahead of it, put some weed and grass stopper down. Don't let the weeds get started.
Mhm.
That's how you ultimately get it. That's like a granular. You spread it over the rock lawn, down the pathways, in between the roses. It does not affect any plants that are already growing. It only affects the seed that come up out in the garden. So
Mhm.
I would really recommend that, especially Prescott Valley.
Yeah.
I got that wind out there. It just grows and grows and grows. You get it weeded, and then more weeds blow right back in.
Yeah.
So that's probably the long-term solution, weed and grass stopper. And now put it down, pray for rain. It's the perfect time to put this stuff down.
Right. Right. It does save you a lot of work in the long run.
Game changer.
So back to the decimate, just so people know, it is not a soil sterilant.
No.
So it's not going to harm that soil. You can get rid of your weeds and then go back and plant back in there if you want. It's not going to move to your ornamental trees and shrubs and cause damage that way either.
I also, if I could mention too, I had a neighbor just here at the garden center. He cut down some elm trees.
Mhm.
He's really worried. He's an engineer. He's overthinking everything. He goes, Kenny, I know you said brush and stump killer. You put that on top of where that cut was for these elms. It's starting to sucker. I'm really worried about it crossing over and the roots jumping over to the other trees and affecting them. Or will it get the soil? Listen, you're way over. Just drill a couple holes in that trunk. Pour the brush and stump killer directly on that cut.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not going to affect the soil, only that roots. It's not going to travel and jump over to the next trees, only that tree and that tree root.
Mm-hmm.
So just trust me, just do it. Otherwise, you'll have roots, you'll have elms everywhere coming up. It'll be a curse.
Okay. Well, we got a few more minutes. So John in Prescott is looking for some plants to provide erosion control alongside a driveway.
Easy. Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I have many thoughts. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. I don't get that at home. Just poking at you. You could help me with this. So there's lots. So we break out at the garden center. We try to merchandise the way people use the plants. And so we have a knee-high and below section of plants. They only go up about a foot and a half, and then they spread out. And these things are like junipers, cotoneaster. There's a spreading native called creeping mahonia, creeping rosemary. These are all great choices that really set their roots in there, hold the soil in. They're pretty. And more importantly, they'll take that sun that you have next to a driveway, because those are usually not just full sun. Usually it's radiant heat coming off that asphalt. Many times you put rock down beside the driveway. So they can be really hot. You need things that can really go after that. I would suggest another one. We had talked about it, the autumn sage, that red kind of 3x3x3. I know it's not a ground cover. It looks really pretty going up and down a driveway. It's got a very extensive
Could be
root.
a nice mix to have both in there.
That's a bloomer. So the others that we mentioned were evergreens. So there's a way to blend the two things together to have kind of a garden. The most common, of course, the most famous that the East Coast has made for this is boxwood. That's the one where you line the driveway. You have this little tiny hedge about a knee high going to the front door. That's boxwood. So
very formal.
If you want more formal, so it depends on, hey, John, you got to get in here to Watters Garden Center. We'll walk you through and we'll help you take a picture. We'll help you design it. When we look at a picture, we're looking at shadows. What else is planted there? How hot is it going to be? How much sun is there? We're trying to help you figure out companion plants. We can help
Mhm.
you design that out super easy. The only thing we can't measure is how long. Is it a short driveway, a long? If you could just do quickly, it's 30 feet. And here's a picture. Go here. We'll help you.
Yeah.
Help you design that.
Mhm.
Ken and Lisa Lain, the Mountain Gardeners. Watters garden companion plants for August are radio red salvias, trumpeting vine, and butterfly bush.
Monarch and swallowtail butterflies flock to Watters butterfly bush with spectacular 8-inch flowers filling the yard with fragrance and beauty.
Heat, drought, wind only make this shrub bloom more. Tough enough to grow in clay, but hardy enough to shine in containers.
With so many colors to choose, every yard should have at least 2.
You'll only find impressive butterfly bush at Watters Garden Center in Prescott. I got to thinking, there are some flowers that are just over the top, bigger than most. Some flowers have a lot of flowers, but they're tiny, they're small. I thought I'd give you a list of some of my favorite local mountain landscape flowers that are just pretty easy to grow, consistent, count on them every year, that are just prettier. They're just prettier. Hummingbirds, more butterflies, there's more to them. And so I would really start with the one that's in full bloom right now. Actually, there's 2 that are beautiful. One kind of isn't really a flower, it's more of a smoky thing. And one is a definite hundreds of flowers. It is Rose of Sharon. It's one of the hardiest hibiscus we have here. It comes in light pink and white and blues and purples and reds with blue centers and blues with red centers. There's a lot to it. Now, Rose of Sharon is a big plant. It's a big shrub. So it's bigger. It's as big, maybe bigger than lilacs, definitely bigger than forsythia. It's a big plant. It's going to get up, if you just let it go, 8-10 feet tall. You can keep it trimmed down to about chest high or so, but with a winter pruning, you just prune it back to the height you want every winter, and away you go. You can keep it that size. So you keep it at the top of the fence or whatever, but you can count on this to have literally hundreds of hibiscus-shaped flowers. Now, you folks from Hawaii, from the tropical area, Southern California, you're used to that big tropical flower, that one flower that's as big as your hand. Now, this isn't that big. The flowers for Rose of Sharon, they can be as big as a tennis ball, a pickleball. Some of those, it's big, but it's not gigantic. But it makes up for it in literally hundreds of flowers, literally hundreds of flowers. It's nuts. It blooms from now through fall. It's spectacular. If you've never seen one, come into the garden center, just bring your Frappuccino and just roam around and enjoy the flowers. It's a good one. A companion to that in full sun is crepe myrtle. Now, crepe myrtles, you folks from the South, you go, oh, crepe myrtles, I know that one. That's great. They grow here? Yeah, they do. And they bloom in the summer through fall. Same time frame. So it's got bright, like fluorescent pinks and purples and reds, the brightest colors. Now, the flower themselves are quite small, but the flower cluster is gigantic. It's a big flowering shrub. And so what you'll find here, though, locally, just kind of a disclaimer a little bit, we don't really grow like in Dallas or the true South area, where it's a little bit milder. We don't have the true trees that grow here. What happens is the winter, every once in a while, a freak winter will come out and it will set crepe myrtles back to the ground like a perennial. So they have to come back fresh from the ground. So you'll find more shrubs than you do trees here. There's a few freakish trees around, but that's the reason you don't find streets lined with crepe myrtles. Otherwise you would. It's because the winter resets them. Another one I'd mentioned, a native that doesn't really have flowers, is smoke bush. It's starting to bloom all over town. Smoke bush typically is purple foliage, but the flower comes up and hovers over top of the foliage, and it truly looks like the bush is on fire, like it's smoking from within. That is a flower. It's big, but it's uniquely Arizona. So it's not the norm. Okay, that's the shrubs. Your biggest vine, trumpet vine. Oh my gosh. Big red flowers, aggressively grows. Hummingbirds just think they've died and gone to heaven. They'll roost in this. They'll hang out with it. They'll bicker over the flower. Big red flowers. Trumpet vine. That's the one to go to if you want big flowers. Now, another one that's perennials, perennial flowers, again, they come back, perennial and permanent. They both come back every year. My favorite right now is Rudbeckia. Rudbeckia or black-eyed Susan. I guess there's Echinacea, Gaillardia. There's a whole series of summer blooming perennial flowers. Now, these are shorter than a 10-foot rose of Sharon. They're going to be typically knee-high, a little shorter. You just figure garden height. They like garden soil. They like blooming for you. They love deadening. Pinch off the old spent flowers, and it will set another flower for you with pride. It just wants to show off and bloom for you, make you happy. They just want to make the butterflies, hummingbirds happy. And so these are great plants that bloom from now through the end of, I think, into after Halloween. They're going to keep on blooming. These are all summer loving perennial flowers. And a lot of these people don't realize they grow here because they shop here only in spring, and we don't have these plants. The summer plants we have spring plants in the spring. We have summer plants in the summer. And so the two don't cross over sometimes. So you need to hit your garden centers and try them out and see what they have by the different seasons so you can get their different crop rotations or different crop harvests is what we call them. And so those are all some of the biggest, boldest, and I would say the most famous of all, the big blooming flowering plants, bar none, roses. Roses, they get a bad rap. They're thinking, oh, they're high maintenance. They really aren't, not when it's dry, high altitude in the sun. Roses are fantastic, and you can grow them in your own backyard. Hi, Watters with the plants of the week and our gold flame honeysuckle.
Wonderfully fragrant. These blooms are in full color right now and will stay that way until the first frost of October.
These pink and gold blooms are irresistible to hummingbirds and butterflies alike.
Excellent as a quick ground cover, but robust enough to climb vertical structures and fences.
Watters Garden Center, 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott. We are back in the studio with Lisa Watters Lain and special guest. So
yes,
this is kind of fun. This is better for you vloggers out there, the folks that are watching this for the video, so our podcast. The folks on the airwaves will try to describe a cute 9-week-old Scotty puppy that we got on Thursday.
yes.
It's so much fun. Oh my gosh, she's half sleepy.
She's tired. She had a big morning.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this is Tilly. She's our little Scottish Terrier that we got
Yep.
a week ago, almost a week ago. So she's almost 10 weeks old, actually. But cute and adorable. We thought we'd introduce her. She was at the class last Saturday.
Yeah, everyone went, ooh, ah.
So we thought we'd introduce her. So for people that don't know, so we lost Vincent, our big black lab that used to hang out here quite a bit. We lost him last March.
Yeah.
And that was just really hard.
Yes, it still is.
But we have this little monster that controls our life now.
Puppies, oh my gosh. Doesn't know anything, but every day, every new thing is an adventure.
Oh, yes.
So a leaf blowing across the yard is an adventure. They found a June bug on the back deck is an adventure.
Right.
I found a bell goes off, adventure. Everything's new. It's scary. It's spooky. It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
It is fun. Her and the cat love each other.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They
play.
wrestle.
They do. It's kind of scary to watch, but they're just like, la, 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 la.
No claws out.
No,
just
no.
no biting, just kind of wrestling.
They just tackle each other.
They just like hanging out with each
They
other.
do.
So
It's
the cat can get away. Just goes, okay, I'm done. Jumps up on something, goes, we're out. So
and she's like, wait, I'm not done. But
I don't know about Callie. Callie, we've got a schnauzer.
Yeah.
So we're trying to downsize. Schnauzers are great lap dogs, but she's having a harder time adjusting.
Yeah.
So she's getting there.
Getting
come around.
there. She's come a long way in a week.
And
So.
she just looks at her and
She'll
goes,
be good.
stupid Scotties. Oh my God, puppies.
She'll come around. She always does.
We've had a Scotty before. I
Mhm.
like Scotties because they think of themselves in their head. They're a big dog,
Yes.
but their legs are only like 4 inches long, and they're long. They're maybe high teens, 20 pounds, but they got this big dog attitude, and then they can go and go. They can keep up with you.
Oh,
They're so
yeah.
strong. They can keep up with you out hiking around or doing
Mhm.
whatever you're doing. they'll do that too. So,
That is true.
and they're not that needy, I noticed.
No,
So
they're not. They like
they,
hanging with you, but they don't
don't
demand
pick me
all
up.
your.
No need to pick me up.
Yeah.
Well, I'm good. Well, just be here.
Yeah.
Let's just go someplace. Where are we going?
Yeah. So, anyways, I thought we'd introduce her.
Scotty's. I don't know that black dogs show up on the screen that well,
but she
yeah.
is awful cute.
Yeah.
But so this week, I thought we should talk about. So this is the funny thing about plants in the yard. So anything that blooms, the minute it starts blooming, everybody wants one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in the spring, we have a lot of spring blooming trees, and everybody goes, "Oh yeah, I want one of those," but they're waiting till spring to plant it, which is fine. But why not plant it now so that when spring rolls around next year, you've got it, it's in the yard, it's already rooted out, and you're going to have a gorgeous spring blooming tree.
Oh, yeah. Good.
So I thought I'd talk about a few of those that, yes, we do have here at the Garden Center. Plant it now. It's a great time to plant. I mean, the soils are moist, the soils are warm, trees are going to root out, so that when spring does roll around, you're going to have a beautiful, healthy tree.
Better tree. You have a better blooming tree. By planting now, you have a far better, hardier tree next year, and it'll have more show, and it'll bloom longer for you because the roots are in the ground. They're rooted out. So, oh yeah.
Definitely. So one of the trees is the ornamental pear. Otherwise, Chanticleer, Bradford, Aristocrat. Is there another one?
Well, I'm sure there's more. There's lots of them out there. So
Cleveland.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all ornamental pears. Not a whole lot of difference between them, a little bit of size. But the great thing about planting it now, not only when you get beautiful spring blooms, beautiful white blossoms, but they have great fall color. So it's a good time to put it in the ground now. You're going to get to enjoy that fall color, which usually end of October, November.
Yeah, something like that. I can actually go into November, December. It depends on the season. Who knows?
Right.
What's the season going to be this year in the mountains of Arizona? I don't know. It's one of the last trees to turn red. I know that much. Bright, like fire engine red.
Right. It kind of starts out as an orangey, goes to red. Very, very pretty tree for fall. And another one that's a great fall color, but also spring bloomer, is the serviceberry.
Yeah, good.
So serviceberries probably aren't utilized as much or seen as much, but
be.
they really are a great tree. They don't get super huge, about 20 feet probably
most.
at most. White blossom in the spring. They do put on a little berry, but actually the birds absolutely love that berry. So if you're trying to attract birds or help the birds out, it's a perfect one to put in. But it has a really lovely orange color in the fall. So that's a really nice one. Very drought hardy too.
Yeah, it's a native. It grows wild out in the forest. If you see a white blooming tree that's a little shorter in the forest, that's a serviceberry.
Yeah.
Guaranteed. So very hardy. The birds know what it is. I like the taste. It's got spring blooms, great little shade tree, and the easy fall cleanup, bright red fall color. It's got everything going for it. And drought hardy. It's got everything. Serviceberry. Every yard should have one. Yeah.
So another one, of course, is the ornamental plum. Which has that really light pink blossom in the spring. Another one that's really tough for here. It adapts wonderfully to our environment with the heat and the wind, and really drought hardy too once it's established. But it has that burgundy leaf to it, which just becomes in the fall more burgundy, the kind of a darker color, but still just a really pretty tree to put out there. 20 feet probably.
Vase-shaped, is pretty tree. Dense. The birds like to roost in those. So, because it's got this more denser branching structure, so they feel safe in there. So if you want to attract birds, purple leaf plum, it's a great one for you.
Excellent. Crabapple is another one.
It's a companion to purple leaf plums.
Yeah, definitely. Perfect. And I think of all the spring blooming things, I love the crab apples. They just have it's a bit bigger blossom, just very bright colors. So I love the crab apples. And the ones they've come out with now, they don't have the big messy fruit. Yeah. It's not as much of a cleanup or a problem with them. So I would definitely consider putting in a crab apple.
I think they're kind of old fashioned. They used to have great big, when I was a kid, my grandmother would take us up in the mountains. We'd go the wild crab apple orchards. We'd go pick crab apples, big ones. They were like miniature apples. Right. Here, they're like the size of a dime. They're almost cute. Where the robins will come in and just eat them as a winter snack out in the yards. It's good for attracting birds, but it's that Your grandparents had that great big fruit. We don't have that anymore.
Right.
We've bred that out. If you're going to have an apple, have a real apple. Put a Honeycrisp or a Fuji out there.
Mm-hmm. Which actually, crab apples work as a pollinator,
They
don't
do.
they?
Yeah, they do.
So if you have another apple tree, put in a crab apple.
Yeah.
There you go. So redbud is another one that has that beautiful, they have that real dark fuchsia pink blossom in the spring. So there's the regular Oklahoma and Eastern redbuds. There's the Merlot and forest pansy, which have more of a little bit burgundy leaf to them. Still very attractive out there. Another great one to put out. Yeah. Definitely.
That one's another native. So there's a native version, a Western redbud. So the whole family is going to adapt really well here. Gets up maybe again mid-teens, right. Kind of umbrella shaped, great big heart-shaped leaf. Just a pretty tree.
It really is.
It takes our wind. She takes the heat, takes the sun. It's a great plant.
Takes abuse. It keeps going. So redbuds, and then the last one I thought of is the magnolias. So there are some the spring blooming magnolias.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. The hardier ones.
Not the southerns, but the spring bloomings. And those, they bloom before they put any of the leaves on, and just big blossoms, usually 4 or 5 inches.
Covered. I mean, it's kind of like your classic spring blooming trees. They're covered in flowers first, then they put their foliage on, and they're animal resistive. So I find the deer and things don't eat magnolias, which is kind of nice. But I would say southern magnolias, we got a couple of those in our yard.
Oh, yeah.
Those are great trees.
They are.
There's a hardy variety of southern magnolia, a little bit shorter, but it's cold hardier. And we've had some they got to be 18 feet tall.
Oh, yeah.
Evergreen. They've been in bloom all summer. They've been growing out there for years. We're a testament that they can grow. You can take a look at all those trees and more at Watters online store at Top 10 Trees. That's the number 10 trees.com. You can take a look. We got descriptions, pictures, the price, the size, all those available. Or you can just come in and shop them right here at the garden center. Even better. Ken and Lisa Lain, the mountain gardeners. Watters garden companion plants for August are radio red salvias, trumpeting vine, and butterfly bush.
Monarch and swallowtail butterflies flock to Watters butterfly bush with spectacular 8-inch flowers filling the yard with fragrance and beauty.
Heat, drought, wind only make this shrub bloom more. Tough enough to grow in clay, but hardy enough to shine in containers.
With so many colors to choose, every yard should have at least 2.
You'll only find impressive butterfly bush at Watters Garden Center in Prescott. My perennial flowers, remember perennial and permanent both start with P. So those plants that come back year after year after year, annuals, they're fancy flowers, big showy colors, but they're going to die. They only live annually. And then they're done. They're not coming back again, only for the year. And that is it. Perennials come back year after year. My perennials have been fantastic. They're glorious right now. But I think I've fallen in love with a new one. There's just some that call to you. And I see literally thousands of plants per year. And every year I have a favorite, a new one, something I haven't grown before. And I'm so impressed. And I thought I would share one for you. Actually, it's a family of plants. It's called Euphorbias. Euphorbias is a big family of plants. Now, Euphorbias, they've got a milky sap to them. So when you break off a stem, you'll see this white drop of sap that comes out. So that's the inside. That's a defense mechanism for the plant that keeps animals off of them. So they make that sap. If you're to touch it to your tongue would go numb. So you kind of go, oh, guys, we can't do a radio show because I can't feel my tongue. That's what it does to animals too. So when they eat the foliage, they kind of go, whoa, what just happened? I need a drink of water. And so it's natural defense. So javelina, rabbits, deer, pack rats, and nothing eats a euphorbia of any type, the entire family. So the most famous of all the euphorbias is gopher plant or gopher spurge. It's a blue, spiky, it looks prehistoric, kind of succulent looking plant. Has yellow flowers in spring. It's just a ground cover, gets up maybe not even knee high. Call it a foot, spreads out maybe 3-4 feet wide. It's a beautiful Arizona looking plant. Now, I like Arizona plants But it's hard to paint a Monet or a beautiful Picasso with Arizona plants. They're more prehistoric dinosaur. You're expecting a T-Rex to go down the street as you're planting these things. These are yuccas and agaves and big spiky, spiny plants. I love those, and I have many, but some parts of my garden, I want them to be more finessed, more beautiful, more softer, gentler, just flowing flowers and euphorbias, the new ones coming out. Like Gopher Plant's good, but the new types of euphorbia, there's rainbow ascot euphorbia. Now, this plant does not look prehistoric. It looks bright and juicy and it looks like a beautiful blonde out there in the garden going, look at me, I am beautiful. Perfect, perky, upright branches up to about knee high, vase-shaped, perfectly lime green to gold colors. It's got variegation to it. It is striking. And they all the euphorbia families, they love bright, intense sun. They want more sun, the bigger and bolder and more beautiful and full they get. And so there's a new one that came out this year or late last year. It looks just like the big blonde, but now it's a redhead. It's got burgundy, flowing, dark, rich, wine-colored foliage. Same exact shape, vase-shaped, big, full, about knee-high, just nice and full to it. I've got some in containers. I've got them in the yard. I've got them in raised beds. I'm trying to find more places for them. I just planted 7 more this week. They are just beautiful. And here's why I like them. Okay, I've got javelina problems. That's my bane. I've got electric fence. I've got regular fence. I've got all kinds of tricks to keep the javelina out. But if you just plant the right plant, they don't eat them. So they don't eat euphorbia. And this plant is evergreen. So even in the winter, it's even more beautiful in the winter. It's not a typical perennial. It doesn't just flow back down to the ground and hibernate underground like some chicken plant. This is big, bold, out there showing off, whether it's rain, shine. It's like a postal worker out there. I don't care what weather is. They're going to deliver the mail. These things are going to be looking good in your gardens no matter what. You got to be proud of them. They just look good. Now, I did have kind of the disclaimer, okay? I had one of my rainbow ascots did get beat up by that last snow. When was that? Like in April. So one freak last snow. Okay. It was big, bold, loaded up with this heavy wet snow, and it fell over. And so I just cut it back, fertilized it, and it's better than ever, bigger. I had another one. I had this beautiful tiki head, gigantic container. It's up hip high. It's a piece of art that you could plant in. I mean, you look in the backyard, you kind of go, what the heck is he thinking with that? It's fun. It's whimsical. And I put a rainbow ascot euphorbia. I wanted this tiki man to have hair, and I wanted to be upright and perky. I've had some flowing things like lobelias in it. I've had different kinds of plants, but this is the best one. It looks really good with this rainbow ascot euphorbia coming out of his head. Tiki man. Oh, I'll post a picture on this. If you don't follow me on social media, not me, don't follow me. I don't post to my own Facebook. But the Watters Garden Center Facebook is Instagram, TikTok, YouTube channel's a behemoth. You see my gardens. I'll make sure I take a picture or video or something of that. But I had an umbrella fall over. It's on my patio. It fell over and smacked this euphorbia and just crushed it. I mean, it fell over in the morning. The wind got it. I came back that evening, actually the next morning. I had my coffee cup inspecting my gardens going, I am such a good gardener. Gosh, these things look good. I go, whoa, what just happened? My poor euphorbia has been crushed by the patio umbrella. So I picked the umbrella up, got it away from the garden so it won't fly away. And there was no recovery. It broke a lot of the branches. This is about 2 weeks ago. I cut back the euphorbia, just cut it back, gave it a haircut. Again, plants want to be beautiful. They want to make you proud. They want to stand up straight and show off. They really want to. You have to give them a chance. And they have to touch and tell them they're pretty. You have to groom them, give them a haircut. I cut back the branches, cut it back really right back to the ground. I kind of was wondering if it would come back. And it has grown like 18 inches. It's more beautiful. It's fuller than ever. It's glorious. So this is euphorbias, rainbow ascot, burgundy. I had mentioned gopher plant. Those are the three basic ones that we grow here that are perennial. They grow for years and years out in the yard. I cut those things back, and they are just my new favorite plant because they are so robust. You can't kill the things. You can't overwater them. You can't underwater them. You can't kill. If you've got brown thumbs, euphorbia. If you got green thumbs, euphorbia. If you've never grown euphorbia, euphorbia. Euphorbia. It's just a fun plant. It's fun to say 10 times fast. Euphorbia, euphorbia, euphorbia. Okay. Now we're just having fun in front of the camera. But it is good. I have planted a lot of them. I mix and match them. The blonde one goes with the red. The red goes with the blonde. They are companion plants. They grow the same size. They're just so easy to grow. If you've had a problem spot or you got a container, you just can't keep the flowers going. It does have a flower. I'll have to admit that, but it's small. It's insignificant. It looks like a Dr. Seuss. It looks like dimes, like dime-sized flowers all over it. Bright yellows against the darker foliage. It's quite striking. But I've got several favorite perennial flowers, and you'll find a good selection right now of all of those. We'll ebb and flow a little bit, but right now we're just bringing in the best crop in the greenhouses or out in the field. We go, just give me the ones, give me 10 varieties. I want 10 of each. I want them all to be stunning. I mean, like, whoa, I can't believe that grows here. Those are the crops. Those are the crop harvests that we're bringing in right now because you want to be inspired. Things are looking tired and old and run down. If your garden center, wherever you're at, looks tired, old, and run down, and there's bugs everywhere, there's weeds growing up, don't shop there because their plants are going to turn into that. You want inspirational, glorious, beautiful plants, a beautiful facility, because if you take that plant home, it's only known beauty. And then you take it home and plant it. It's just going to do more of that because that's all it knows. You'll struggle less. You'll feel better. You'll like iced tea tastes better as you watch a sunset. Coffee tastes better in the morning. The songs play better on your podcast just because you've got a healthy, growing garden out there. So there is a difference. Expect more from your plants and your garden center that you shop at. Anyway, enough about that. We'll check out here. Be right back. Watters Garden Companion plants for August are radio red salvias, butterfly bush, and trumpeting vine.
Large clusters of red and orange flowers create a dramatic show all season long with Watters trumpet vine.
This vigorous vine thrives in heat and blooms profusely with neglect.
Quickly covers large areas as a ground cover, spilling over retaining walls, screening a fence, or cloaking arbors.
Guaranteed to attract more hummingbirds and only found at Watters Garden Center, 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott. It's kind of funny. Back in the day, I was a marketing manager for Equifax. It's a big banking, credit reporting, kind of huge territories, lots of reps, cold called like crazy. So we don't have those as much anymore. You know what we have anymore is social media managers. So social media is such a big thing. Magazines is back with magazines, TV ads, big golfing events. These were big social gatherings, what I used to get paid to do. It was actually a pretty good job. My expense report was probably bigger than I make now. It's pretty good with big companies, all the perks. Now we have social media managers. And what came to light was, so we've got a pretty sophisticated team of social, very high-end social media editors, posters, creators, graphic artists that work for Watters Garden Centers. 4 of us, we do this work. So we write garden columns, we create videos, and it's usually out in my gardens. But what came to mind was my Prescott Frontier Rotary Club. We've got a big event called Grapes for Good in September. They're planning on it right now. So I give them my garden center. It's free. I let them use it to raise money for the kids, for the schools. So they do a math and reading clinic. They have Prescott Frontier Rotary Math and Reading Clinic. They have Prescott Frontier Rotary Scholarship at Yavapai College. They've got Imagination Library. They partnered with Dolly Partner. They launched it here. So every kid under the age of 5 gets a book every month of their life until they reach 5. They're going to build a library. It's going to be a game changer to get kids to read and interact and get off those doggone technical devices. An actual book they get to sit down with mom and dad and read, or aunt and uncle or grandparents. It's powerful. They're funding this stuff, and this is the event they use to do that. Well, I've always been the marketing guy for that event. For 19 years, I've been the marketing. But now they've got all these active retirees that created all the social media that we know today. They're geniuses. I mean, they're creating stuff out of thin air, and they're posting on social media. It's amazing. It's tremendous to have talent like that in our own community, with the time to use the talents. Before, they didn't have time because they were getting paid to do this. Now they're making money. Now they've made their money. They come back, they retire, and now they can give back in such a huge way. I am so honored to kind of promote this Grapes for Good this year, 2025. Grapes for Good. It's going to be a fun event. If you've not, just type in Grapes for Good, it will show up. It's the best garden party you'll ever see. I load up the garden center with beautiful plants and invite the community to come and give back to raise money for the schools. I mean, that's pretty much it. And so the food is good. Barbie is with Tormes and El Gato Azul. He's just the best chef in town. He caters this out of his heart every year. I give the facility out of my heart. Every year we do such good. So the sponsor, Dignity Health, I think the new CASA group are major sponsors this year. So, and those are the ones that come up. If I missed you, I apologize. I didn't mean to go. I was meant to mention social media managers and how important they are and how game changer. If you want to see my gardens, my live gardens, tune in to Watters Garden Centers, any social media you use, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Feed, X, we're famous on that. We're posting every day a garden advice. We have a lunchtime special. We know you're stressed. We post something beautiful at lunchtime just so you can look at your feed and be inspired. That's what we want. And so follow us at Watters Garden Center. You'll find us. You know how to get to us. But throughout the week, Lisa and I love talking to gardeners here at the Garden Center, especially if you're fans of the show.
Butterflies bring magic to the garden, and attracting those winged wonders is easy with Watters' Butterfly Plant Collection.
Watters specializes in local plants and knows exactly which plants butterflies adore.
We create a natural, safe, and organic space for you and your beautiful butterflies.
Visit Watters Garden Center at 1815 Iron Springs Road in Prescott.
Or online at wattersgardencenter.com.
Smell the flowers that butterflies love and turn gardens into a butterfly paradise. For a more fruitful garden, increase success in the landscape that just feels better, then tune in daily to the Mountain Gardener podcast. Subscribe through your favorite podcast streamer or visit wattersgardencenter.com. Better yet, visit me directly right here at Watters Garden Center. Thanks for tuning in.